friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. For today's video, we are going to be budgeting my husband's first paycheck in September. If you are new here, I just want to take a second and introduce myself. My name is Jessie. I live in Southeast Michigan with my husband and our two children. Robert is 18 years old, so he is an adult living here at home. He takes care of his own finances. He does work full-time. He pays us a little bit in rent, and he's pretty much self-sufficient, but he is living here at home, and so we do feed him. You know, he's another mouth to feed. We include him when we are budgeting for groceries. So that is how my oldest son kind of affects our budget. And then we also have my youngest son, who is 13 years old, so obviously we are fully taking care of him. So that is kind of our situation. We are primarily a single income family. We are going to be budgeting my husband's paycheck this week. He gets paid every single week. He does work in the plumbing industry as a sewer and drain cleaner. I am a stay-at-home mom, even though my boys are older. I really hope to continue to be a stay-at-home mom up until the point when both of my kids are all grown up. It's something that's really important to me. So we sacrifice a lot to have just a single income. Now, I do earn a little bit of money with my side hustle here on YouTube and my Etsy shop, but it's nothing to write home about, and we're not budgeting it today. Today we are focused primarily on my husband's paycheck. So, the paycheck date is, let me take a look at my calendar. I don't even know what day it is, you guys. We just got back from our camping trip. We were away for Labor Day weekend. I did post a little vlog of our camping trip if you're interested in that sort of thing. I will link it in a card above, but I'm a little discombobulated with the holiday and then my son starting back up at school. I don't even know what day it is. Okay, so the paycheck date was technically Wednesday, September 8th. My husband's typically paid every single Tuesday, but because of the holiday, his paycheck was pushed back a day. However, when I kind of planned out my month ahead of time and wrote out my budget, I didn't realize that my husband's paycheck was going to fall on the 8th, so I have included anything that kind of falls on the 7th in this budget as well. That might be a little bit confusing, but you know, it is what it is. The paycheck date, I'm going to write up here, was September 8th. So this is our first paycheck in September. Even though it's September 8th, my husband's last paycheck fell on the very last day in August. So the way that I budget is paycheck to paycheck, not month to month. So that's why it's the 8th, but we're just now writing out September's first budget of the month. Doesn't really matter because I budget paycheck to paycheck and not month to month. The only reason that it kind of makes any difference at all in my budgeting strategy is strategy, that's the word. The only reason it makes any difference is I am using my September printable here. I have an Etsy shop, which I will link down below, and I do sell budget printables in there. This is my design for September. This is my paycheck budget worksheet. I have a whole bundle of worksheets that you can buy for September in this pattern and design. So, you know, there's a paycheck budget, there's a sinking fund worksheet, and a transaction log, and a bunch of other worksheets for September. You can buy the whole bundle, or you can just buy this paycheck budget worksheet individually. The cool thing about my printables, I think it's cool, is that for the majority of my printables, even though this is my September design, you don't have to use it just in September, right? Like, my bundle will come with a September 2021 calendar that is dated, so that you can really only use in September, but the rest of my worksheets don't have dates or months on them, so you could use this paycheck budget worksheet every single week of the year, or every paycheck of the year, if you like this design and you wanted to. So I'm going to link my Etsy shop down below. You can check it out if you are interested. You just purchase the printable, download it, and print it yourself at home. Nothing is shipped at all. I think this is a really great way to have a budget planner, have your worksheets, and not spend a fortune. I know that budget planners can be really, really expensive. So if you like the idea of a cute designed budget planner, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, printables is a great way to go. So I am using my September printable. It is our first paycheck of September. And so under this income section, I'm going to write that this is my husband's paycheck number 1. And that is the only thing that we are budgeting today. So throughout August, when I was earning income from Etsy, I am paid by Etsy every single week. So I was including my husband's paycheck for the week as well as any Etsy income that I earned for the week. But I have since decided for September that I'm actually going to take all of the income I earn with my side hustle, so that's my YouTube channel here and Etsy. I'm going to kind of save it up throughout the month and budget it all at once, just one time a month, because I don't bring in a lot of money. It's like 40 bucks here, 20 bucks there, and so it makes more sense to me to kind of do that all at once, just one time a month. And so you will see my budget for my income at the end of the month, most likely, but for today we are just budgeting my husband's income. Now I'm not going to write in an estimated income amount because my husband doesn't like me to disclose his income. When I do my budget, I will disclose my income. I don't mind doing that, but he just wants to keep that number private. So we're not going to be putting in an income total, but just know that all the money we are working with today is from paycheck number 1. There's also a little tiny bit of rollover money from our previous week. We like to roll money over week to week, or, you could look at it as putting any leftover money at the end of each week into savings that we can then draw from, because paychecks fluctuate a little bit, and because, we don't have the same amount going out in bills every single week. It just makes sense to kind of squirrel away a little bit of money each week when we can, to kind of help us out if we get into a bind where we didn't bring in quite enough income to cover all our bills for that week or whatever. So the money we are budgeting this week is my husband's paycheck number 1 and that rollover amount, or that buffer amount that we have in our account. Again, not going to write in a total, but just so you guys know, that's where that money is coming from. So for my budget worksheets, there is a section here titled checking. And the way that I use this worksheet is I write anything in under this checking box here that I'm going to leave into my checking account to pay bills or anything else that I'm going to swipe a debit card for. I do a lot of our budgeting in cash, which you will see when I get to some of these other categories, but you can't always do everything in cash. So there are some things that get paid either through our direct bank, like automatic payments that come out directly from our bank, or things that we will swipe our credit card for and then pay that credit card balance with. We are on a debt-free journey. It's our goal to pay off all of our credit cards. However, while we carry some balances on cards and we're actively trying to pay those off, we also have a couple credit cards that we use on a regular basis and pay off each month, just to, accumulate those reward points that we can use towards other things. A lot of times we use those bonus rewards around Christmas time, or to help us make the ends meet, So that's all of that is what goes under checking. I apologize. I know I'm a little bit rambly, but just kind of giving the new people that have joined my channel here a little rundown of how we do things. So I'm going to take a peek at my calendar. Oh, let's address the elephant in the room really, really quickly. You may have noticed I did not have a August week 5 budget results video. And that is because with us being on vacation over the weekend and back to school time starting and everything, I didn't have time to sit down and film that video. And also, it was a train wreck of a week. You guys know August in general was a train wreck. I majorly overspent. You can see all of these spending stickers. I like to track my spending using a color coding system here in my calendar layout. All of these transactions were for that final paycheck in August. I can take you guys to that calendar. I didn't bother to put the stickers in here. I just put them here in the first week of September instead. It was a train wreck. We were ridiculously over budget. August in general was a train wreck. There were so many days that we did overspending, especially in these last couple weeks. So it was a hot mess. I am so excited that August is over and we get a fresh start for September, because it was just bad. You guys can see here so much red ink. We overspent by more than double in our food category last week. It was just bad. So I didn't not film that to kind of pretend like that didn't happen or to not share that with you guys. I just it took me a long time to kind of shuffle through all of the spending and write everything down, and I just did it on my own time. But it was a terrible, terrible end to August, and I'm really psyched for a fresh start here in September. So let's go ahead and look at the week that we are looking at here. So we are looking at the week of August 7th. Technically the payday fell on the 8th, but I have it here in my calendar as the 7th through the 13th. Technically it was the 8th through the 13th, right? My husband will get paid again on Tuesday the 14th, so that will start a new paycheck budget, but we're looking at this week. So I need to look at these days and see what my expenses are. We have just a couple of bills. I have my Boost mobile payment due as well as our camper payment due. So those are the first things I'm going to write in here under checking. That's money we will leave in our checking account to account for those bills. So Boost Mobile is our phone bill. We have a family plan with Boost. It's one of these pay-as-you-go services, so there's no contract. We just pay as we go. That's exactly what it means. We have 4 lines, unlimited talk, text, and data, and it's a total of $130 a month. So it's really affordable. If you are still with a network like Sprint or Verizon and you are not locked in with a contract, you should really look into Boost Mobile or Metro PCS or one of these other like pay-as-you-go things. You have to buy your own phone, obviously, so you're not going to be able to like get a big fancy expensive phone and split the payments up with Boost. You do have to buy your own phone, but it's so much more affordable. Highly recommend it. So that's Boost. And then we have my camper payment. We do have a camper that we are making payments on. I did a little bit of a tour of my camper in my most recent camping vlog. So again, if you want to check that out, feel free. We love our camper. We use it every weekend in the summer. I'll never, ever regret that purchase. And we pay $200 a month for our camper. That payment happens to fall during this week, so it gets written in here for this first week of September. The rest of the items in here are various things that I'm going to swipe that credit card for and then immediately pay that balance off. So that includes our food budget this week. I've been doing food in cash for the last few months, and that works out fine. However, I've been utilizing the Walmart pickup service a lot again, as well as Walmart delivery. And so since I'm doing more online shopping for our groceries, I'm going to just leave it in the checking account this week, use my credit card, and pay it that way. The great thing about personal finance is it's personal. You can change your mind. You can change things up. So while I have been doing food in cash for a while, we're going back to this way. And I am drastically upping our food budget this week. We did major damage to our budget last month overspending in food. And it's a combination of things, right? It's the fact that grocery prices have skyrocketed. It just is what it is. Call it inflation, call it, whatever it is. Grocery prices are higher than they used to be. And so we can't keep budgeting the same amount that we were budgeting before and still get the same amount of groceries. It just doesn't work. So we either need to cut back on how much food we're buying, or we need to up the budget. We're doing a combination of those things. This food budget is not only my grocery budget, but it's also our eating out. So we are going to try in September to scale our eating out back a little bit. And we're also going to raise the budget. In addition to that, this line item in my budget is also going to take care of our household expenses. For a really long time, I had a separate sinking fund for household. Before that, I was lumping it in with my groceries. I kind of go back and forth with this depending on what's working for me in that stage of my life. So for now, this food line item is going to be eating out, it's going to be groceries, and it's also going to be any household items. I tend to do my grocery shopping at Walmart, and that's where I will pick up, laundry detergent and shampoo and that sort of thing. So for right now, we're going to include household items like that in our food budget, even though obviously we're not consuming that. So, short story, very, very long. I'm budgeting $300 for food this week. That's a lot, I know. We are a family of 4. I live with 3 very hungry men, and they've been eating me out of house and home lately, and like I said, groceries have gone up. So $300 overall for that. We'll see how that goes. I may adjust that down or up each week as September goes through. My youngest son is back to school, so he is eating breakfast and lunch at school. They're offering it for free this year, which is such a blessing. So maybe I won't need this full $300 throughout September, but for now, I want to be better safe than sorry. I'm tired of writing in that I spent more than what I budgeted for every single week. August was like that. There was red ink all over every single page in August. So that's food. The other thing I'm going to write in here is our gasoline. Again, we have done gas in cash in the past, but I hate having to run into the gas station and prepay for gas and pump and all of that. It's so much easier just to swipe a card. So we're just going to leave our gas budget in our checking account and do it that way. For gas, we're budgeting $50. I budget $50 for gas every week. That's about what it costs these days to fill up my car from empty, with gas prices being what they are. So I budget that every week, even if I don't think I'm gonna fill up that week, just because gas is a need, not a want, and I do not want to be in a situation where I'm halfway through the week, I need gas, and I didn't budget for it, so I have to swipe a credit card and have that balance stay on that credit card and accumulate interest. Not doing that, so we are going to budget $50. So that is everything that's going to stay in my checking account. Let me go ahead and pull up my calculator here on my phone so that we can get a total, figure out exactly how much we are budgeting in this category. So we have 130 plus 200 plus 300 plus 50 for a grand total of $680. So that's it for checking. Now we're going to move on to cash envelopes. I use this cash envelope section here for all of my variable spending. So it's everything that I am going to spend throughout the week in cash. I have a couple of categories here. So the first one is my husband's spending money. My husband and I both like to take a little bit of spending money every week just to have a little bit of cash in our pockets so that we can spend on whatever we want. This debt-free journey of ours has gone on for a long time. If we hadn't given ourselves this spending money, sure, maybe we could have gotten out of debt sooner. Like if we had really gone gazelle intense, as Dave Ramsey would say, maybe we could get out of debt sooner, but we would feel miserable. And I feel like we would be over budget consistently if we did not budget a little bit of fun money for us every single week. So my husband gets $40 of spending money a week in cash, and I get $40 in spending money. And again, it's just for whatever we want. We don't have to explain what we spent our spending money on to one another. My husband's very hands-off with the budget. He really likes me to kind of figure out what we're paying and do it. As long as he gets his $40 spending money, he's happy. So I give him that $40 in cash at the start of the week. And, you know, otherwise he kind of stays out of the budget and lets me do my thing. So that's our spending money. Next up, we have my son Austin's allowance. He's 13. He's not old enough for a job just yet, but he likes to save up his money for things, whether it be video games or, you know, hanging out with his friends. And rather than me just kind of giving him cash as he asks for it or requests it, he does some extra chores around the house and he earns 20 bucks a week in allowance. So that's what that is. Next up, we have miscellaneous. And for our miscellaneous, this is just an extra 20 bucks. I throw in my wallet for anything else that comes up throughout the week that I didn't plan for. So maybe we are at my son's soccer game and we want to get a hot dog from the concession stand. With my food budget being in cash or being in my bank account, I can't just swipe a card at a concession stand. So I need a little bit of cash for that, right? So that miscellaneous 20 comes in handy every week. There's always something I didn't plan for, I didn't think of, something that comes up, and I'm always glad that I have that extra 20 bucks in my wallet. So that's everything for our cash envelope category here. Adding this up, we have a total of $120 that I'm going to pull out in cash and stuff into my cash envelopes for the week. You guys will see that video probably tomorrow. The next category that we have here is sinking funds. I do my sinking funds in cash. This is cash that I pull out of the bank, but it differs from our cash envelopes in that this money will get saved, not necessarily spent this week. So it gets saved up for expenses that we know are coming. Throughout the year, we just like to put little bits of money aside each week for things like that, so that when those things inevitably come up, we're not caught unaware and scrambling to come up with the money. These are larger things, sometimes like Christmas, for example, where we spend a lot of money all at once, and we don't want to have to pull all of that money out of our weekly budget. We'd rather save up 20 bucks here, 50 bucks there throughout the year so that it all adds up and we have it when we need it. I have quite a few sinking funds. I'm not going to be adding to all of my sinking funds today, just the ones that are kind of the most pressing right now, based on what our goals are, based on how much my husband's income is, that sort of thing. So we're going to start out with my campsite sinking fund. As I mentioned, we do have a camper. We have it at a campground that we pay for annually. It stays there all year round. It is camping and amenities in the summer, and then it's winter storage as well. It's about $1,400 due once a year. So rather than wait until that bill's due and then scramble to put together $1,400 or worse, put it on a credit card, we save little bits of money throughout the year for that. So we're going to budget $50 to put into our campsite fund. Next up is car maintenance. Again, you never know when your car's going to break down, but you do know that you have regular maintenance you have to do, like oil changes, that sort of thing. So this car maintenance fund is for both the unexpected things, like if we get a flat tire or, you know, we need new spark plugs, but it's also for that typical car maintenance. We're going to add $50 to our car maintenance fund as well. Next up is that example I gave you, Christmas. We really like to spoil our children, so we're putting $50 into Christmas, and that's just going to build up each week throughout the year so that when Christmas rolls around, we have it. Next, we have home insurance, and our home insurance sinking fund is getting $50 as well. Hunting. My husband is an avid hunter, so hunting season starts up in October. He needs to have money for things like deer tags and any equipment that he needs. So we're going to stick $50 into his hunting sinking fund. Next up we have school. School has started up, and there's always something that we need to pay for school, whether it be school supplies or new clothes for school or sporting events. My son is involved in a lot of things with school. He's involved with his soccer team. He's involved with his robotics team. He does track in the spring. He's also part of the National Junior Honor Society. There is always school pictures or fundraisers or something. So it's always a good idea to set aside a little bit of money for those things that come up. We're adding $50 to our school sinking fund. And the last sinking fund we're going to add to today, we do have others, but like I said, we're not adding to all of them today, is subscriptions. We have a ton of subscriptions, both things like streaming services, Hulu, Netflix, that sort of thing. We also have Audible, we have Amazon Prime, we have Walmart Plus, so it's a lot. And rather than putting all of those bills in my monthly budget and filling up my calendar with all of those things that come due, I just set the money aside in a sinking fund and pay it out of that when that comes up. Some of our subscriptions are annual subscriptions, some of them are monthly. We lump them all together in one big category called subscriptions, and our subscription sinking fund is going to get $50 this week as well. So really quickly, let me grab my calculator here and add it up. So 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50. $350 going into our sinking funds this week. The final category that I have here before I kind of do my totals wrap up is extra debt. So as I mentioned, our goal with budgeting is to pay off all of our credit card debt. We started out with something like 15 credit cards. We're down to just 2 that carry balances right now. We are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And we tackle our debt by paying a little bit of extra debt every single week. So we make the minimum payments on all of our cards, and then we choose just one card at a time to really focus in on and tackle and throw any extra money that we can towards it. There was a time that we were putting $200 to $300 a week towards our extra debt. Right now, we're not in the position to do that. Moving into the winter, when things calm down a little bit and we don't have so much money going out hand over fist, I'm hoping to raise our extra debt payments from my husband's paychecks, but for now, for this week, we are paying extra to my Lowe's card, and we're going to just pay an extra $50. It's not a lot. It doesn't have to be. You can really chip away at a balance by just putting a little bit of money towards it every single time you get paid, whether it's $1, $10, $20. It all adds up. Might not add up quickly, but it does add up, and it makes a difference. So we're going to put $50 towards my Lowe's card for a total of $50 to extra debt this week. Only thing I have left to do then is fill out this totals section. So I would typically write in my husband's income, but again, I don't share that with the internet, so I'm going to leave that blank. Our checking amount, we said, was $680. Our cash envelopes is $120. Our sinking funds is $350, and our extra debt is $50. So we'll take that income, the total, then subtract out what we're spending for checking, cash envelopes, sinking funds, and extra debt. That'll give us a remaining balance, and then we just have to decide what we want to do with that remaining balance. And we always like to bring it down here to savings. So as I mentioned, we like to roll money over week to week, and so that is the line item we're going to put in here. There is another line here. I put in a couple with this printable so that if you have multiple savings goals, you can do that. Maybe you're doing some savings challenges. I know so many people right now are doing like the 100 envelope savings challenge, or the, I can't even think of any more, 52-week savings challenge. You could put those in here. I'm actually going to put my Pirate Booty savings challenge in here. If you're not familiar with the Pirate Booty Savings Challenge, it is a fun savings challenge created by my friend Marlene over at SnowGardener307. She has a fun printable bundle you can buy. I explained this in a previous video. I will explain it again in my cash stuffing video when I do this, but basically I'm putting a little bit of money aside every single week in this Pirate Booty Challenge in honor of Talk Like a Pirate Day that falls here in September. And I'm just going to throw 20 bucks into that Pirate Booty Savings Challenge. So what I have remaining here, primarily it will go to a rollover amount to get rolled over into next week. Again, I'm not going to fill this total in because it'd be way too easy to figure out exactly what my husband's income is if I filled that in, but just know that part of what is remaining here after we pay everything else is going to go to rollover. The majority of it will go to next week. $20 of it is going to go into my Pirate Booty Savings Challenge. So I'm going to link Marlene's shop down below where you can check out the Pirate Booty Challenge for more information on that if you don't want to wait for me to explain it in my next video. But definitely check it out. It's so much fun. Just setting aside little bits of money every day in September to, you know, meet your savings goals, whatever they are. So that is it for my paycheck budget for my husband's first paycheck in September. So excited for a fresh start in September and to have August behind me. Let me know, how did you guys do in August? Did you completely go off the rails like I did? Summer is just so hard on our budget. One of my subscribers mentioned that she actually has a sinking fund because she knows she spends more in summer. She puts aside a little bit of money in winter when her spending is less, so that she has it when summer rolls around and she has higher expenses. I'm considering doing that. You guys have to let me know what you think of that because we just went off the rails this summer and I'm so excited for things to hopefully calm down in September and moving forward, at least till we get the holiday season and then the spending happens again. Oy. Alright friends, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. It's a completely free way you can support me here on Jwhackers. You can leave me a comment down below. That really helps me out as well. If you're interested in my budget worksheets, you can head on over to my Etsy shop and financially support me there. I really appreciate all of the love and support I've gotten over there as well as here on my channel. It means the world to me. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, friends!